Next, back. Okay. Greetings, everyone. I'm so delighted to be part of such an interesting and exciting event. And I would like to thank Muhammad bin Rashid Foundation alongside the UNDP for giving me their trust and handing me this opportunity to shed the lights on my success and how I turned my passion about sports and empowering youth in various domains and turn it into a huge and exceptional success. As you can see here, the title of my presentation is Raise Your Mind. I'm going to ask you this question. Why do you think I have taken this decision to put these three words, as a title? Who would like to answer? Whatever comes to your mind. You can say it in 1 word, 3 words. What does this title mean to you?
Like to make it more positive, to shed light on your thoughts some more.
Yes? What else? You wanted to say something? Absolutely. Actually, my name is Rayan, and I decided to change the way we write the word raise. They say there is a ray of hope everywhere, but I have taken this decision to shed the lights on the importance of raising our mindset, raising our mentality to become inspirational change makers without even the need to become a high level, or let's say someone occupying a high level position. For this reason, I'm going to introduce myself again. I'm an economist by decision with a master's degree in economic policy, a community builder, a youth empower by heart, and a sports commentator by passion. And I'm gonna seize this opportunity to insist on my passion about sports and, let's say, introduce you to alternatives and to inspirational plan Bs that are helpful enough to never give excuses and always consider other plans that are sustainable and achievable. Like many youth in my beloved country, the revolution started. I had this dream of a country where everyone is empowered, where the government was supposed to provide me with all the basic needs and all the tools required to inspire everyone with my skills, competencies, and talent. Unfortunately, over the time, revolution took another scale and shifted into high gears. And as you can see, we are no longer in a sustainable situation. All youth in Lebanon are struggling. All youth in Lebanon are striving for a better living. But our government, as well as many stakeholders, got involved in turning our dreams of becoming the best version of ourselves into flames. This case was applied on me, and you will wonder why. You might think that I was so satisfied, excited, and happy that I was sharing my passion about sports as a sports commentator and a social media coordinator at the athletics department of my university. By the time that the crisis in Lebanon started reaching other scales. Unfortunately, behind this smile, frustration, anxiety, and disappointment of this state of mind at this moment were arising. You will ask me why. Because one day I was told that you are not allowed to work more than 2 hours per week to commentate on the varsities games and conduct interviews with various athletes. By the time that I was devoted dedicated, and committed to meet and greet inspirational and amazing athletes, whether they come from my country or from other nationalities, since I used this opportunity to volunteer at different sports tournaments organized at university. Now I'm going to ask you this question. What do you see in this photo? It's not me, actually. Can you see? What can you describe? In someone playing in his phone, yes. What else? You can say whatever you want. There is no right answer in this. Doing nothing, yeah. Why he's not doing nothing, in your opinion?
He wastes his time. Because he wastes his time using, like, playing in the phone.
Absolutely, this is one of the right answers. What do you have in mind?
My answer is totally opposite, because I have been in this situation many years working. Being in my bed because I have pain, but I'm working with my telephone, but I was working, not playing. So I see it as a work for me. It was my work position.
Yes, it could be, turning problems and personal troubles into sustainable solutions. What else?
Baby, because I'm seeing some baby games there at the corner. So maybe he's having just a rest.
Why do you think he's having a rest and he's doing nothing?
Not doing nothing. Maybe he is doing his business, but in between, because I'm seeing like the whole picture, like he might be a father at this point, as long there is some games at the corner in the picture.
Let's consider that he is a youth person, let's say, who is supposed to work harder and harder on himself. Let's take the negative aspect of this picture. What do you think, what would be something triggering that attracted your attention? I'm actually seeing you thinking deeply.
What do you mean with the word triggering?
Something triggering, something that grabbed your attention, that took your attention. Yeah. You can focus on this person. You can see there is he is somehow asleep. In order to make it simplified, I'm going to tell you actually what happened. When the quarantine began in the country, we were forced to be gridlocked between four walls, unable to go outside our homes, and most importantly, focus on doing our favorite things and activities. This was my state of mind, unfortunately. This was my mindset. I used to sleep at late night and wake up on the next day someone who is never ever willing to take responsibility nor hold accountability of his actions and behaviors. This scenario affected me negatively on both mental and physical levels until a point I entered into a series of conflicts and boiling moments with my entire family. A month later, I noticed that there was something wrong, that I have to take a step forward. I need to make things happen. I need to embrace change. I need to adapt. And that's why I decided that I must do something that is sustainable and make me proud of the version that I am today, and which is better than the person that I used to be after the start of the pandemic. And thanks to this decision, I decided to learn on continuous basis. I decided to never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop evolving, because in every single opportunity, there's a lesson that we have to learn. And this lesson, I thankfully learned it when I got accepted at the youth leadership program. You will wonder how I got accepted in this program. Few weeks before the start of the quarantine, I applied to this program after scrolling on my profile on Facebook, and it took me 1 hour to finish my application in order to secure my position there, in order to learn more about the Sustainable Development Goals, learn more about how I must empower people around me, and thankfully, I reached my goals. Throughout this program, I got many awards, although my project that was tackling quality education did not make it into advanced stages, yet I have achieved many inspirational and small milestones that had greater impact on me. I was the winner of the Sports Innovation Camp, which was organized by Injaz Lebanon, and I was extremely proud of showcasing my passion about sports at that moment. And not only this, after the finish of the 6th cohort of the program, I was awarded the Best Hashtagger Award for promoting the youth leadership program on social media platforms and highlighting all the activities that were taking place, especially the training sessions that I received under the supervision of inspirational and highly qualified trainers and experts. After that, the second part of my success was taken to the next level. After I completed my participation at the youth leadership program, I got appointed for many short-term based assignments with many NGOs, including the partners with UNDP for this program in specific. And among these partners, I can mention Injaz Lebanon, Riyadh for Social Innovation, those two organizations where I had this opportunity to work as a project coordinator, youth mentor, facilitator, and technical assistant in order to inspire youth about the importance of developing their entrepreneurship skills and make them prepared for the labor market, so they receive this opportunity to become highly qualified individuals in the labor market. And not only that, after a few months of my completion of this program, I was selected by the UNDP team in Lebanon to become the first Lebanese male, the first male from the Bekaa region to become an advisory board member for this program, providing support to every single youth aspiring to become an inspirational change maker and an exceptional innovator focusing on tackling the Sustainable Development Goals, hence helping everyone to create the social impact, to embrace the change they want within their communities in Lebanon. Few months later, and after the start of, or before the start of the regional forum, I was also appointed as a co-facilitator for the intercultural dialogue session. This intercultural dialogue session aimed to facilitate the cultural exchange between Arab countries that are part of this program, and I had the privilege, under the support of the UNDP team in Lebanon, to introduce other countries to inspirational success stories and the traditions that we have and that create impact on the entire world, not only the Arab region, the entire world, and I insist on that. My journey actually did not end here yet. After I managed to accumulate experience in project management, community development, outreach, and content creation, I decided why not to apply to this opportunity. I decided to showcase my passion about sports in another innovative way, think outside the box, and give the floor to myself alongside my colleagues to empower people, promote peace and development through sports, encourage intercultural dialogue, and the importance of tolerating each other without any exceptions. And because I took this decision, I ended up winning the Taqa Youth Wellbeing Championship, which was organized by Injaz Lebanon and powered by UNICEF as part of the Generation of Innovative Leaders program. And if you will wonder for which project I won, I'm gonna tell you in the next few minutes and introduce you to the story that inspired me to come up with this innovative project in the sports industry in specific. And after achieving this inspirational milestone, at the same time, I got accepted by the European Union alongside a Lebanese NGO called Mouvement Social, also known as the Social Movement in Lebanon, which was founded in the 1954, if not mistaken. I got accepted to become a certified SDGs advocate in order to be equipped with tools and inspirational techniques on how to empower youth and make them inspirational change makers by introducing them to all the sustainable development goals and promoting this kind of awareness in the entire country. Following my completion of this program, I was also selected, but as a representative of my country, at the Youth Regional Forum, in which I had this chance to network, meet, and greet with inspirational youth, young participants coming from around 9 different countries who were part of the Safir program, which is funded by the European Union alongside many other associations and organizations who are involved in this program, without forgetting the Arab Network for NGOs and Development, who were the main organizer of this Youth Regional Forum, which took place in Beirut. And talking about this experience, I found myself a tourist in my country. Yes, I couldn't travel abroad for a few days to meet these people, yet I considered myself that I had the chance to be a tourist within my country, a change maker within my country, a youth empowerer within my country. And not only this, because I believe in the importance of continuous learning and working harder on ourselves and keep the process moving in a unstoppable way, I was awarded a scholarship by Coursera, Google, and Emmett East to become a specialist in something that I am highly interested in something that would provide me with tremendous career growth opportunities. And I'm talking here about this certification, this prestigious project management certificate from Google that provides every single person with the opportunity to become a specialist in handling projects in various sectors and industries. And I managed to achieve that by the time that I reached a point where I have been facing so many instabilities. At this moment in specific, I was occupying 2 positions at a time. 2 positions at a time. A project coordinator and a learning content developer, as well as a community developer at an NGO that focuses on leveraging the talent of youth in the process of fighting against corruption with a focus on their collective intelligence and their entrepreneurial skills. Unfortunately, by the time that I was working on achieving this certificate in specific, I took the decision to shift out from the learning content development because I felt that this does not reflect my character. This does not reflect even my identity. This opportunity shifted me away from the things that I love the most. At this point, when I took this decision, I got relieved. Yet, I passed by a huge meltdown as I announced on my personal account on LinkedIn that I want to shift into more sustainable opportunities, into a place that would highly appreciate my efforts, competencies, and decent experience in all the things and the skills that I could showcase. Based on the fact that because of the lack of sustainable opportunities in our country, I reached out a point where I couldn't find this sustainable opportunity in specific in order to inspire as many beneficiaries as possible. I got overwhelmed. I had tears in my eyes. And not only this, I had a series of headaches because of the degrading economic situation, as well as the tireless moments that pushed me further to always keep on applying, persevering, and working on re-getting myself back to the level of enthusiasm, energy, and empowerment that I always focus on spreading in order to make everybody aligned on the same page, everybody achieves equal opportunities without any discrimination under all the circumstances and the global issues that we've been facing so far. Later on, I somehow, during these past few years, shifted a little bit away from content creation. However, I decided to apply for this other interesting opportunity to become, hopefully, a goodwill ambassador for the European Union. Simultaneously, my journey never stopped here. I'm going to tell you why. I had the opportunity to attend a coffee talk organized by the European Union in order to find out what are the tools and the approaches that I could use as a change maker in order to empower the other youth in my country, to give them this opportunity to shift away from their comfort zone and consider taking risks and work by themselves on searching opportunities instead of letting the opportunity itself come to them. And because I decided to take this decision, I fortunately got selected among the 5 content creators shortlisted to get the chance to become an EU Goodwill Ambassador using their content creation skills as part of In Their Eyes competition, which is organized by the European Union Neighbors South team that covers 8 countries in the South region, and Lebanon is among them. And at this moment in specific, at this moment, I met with inspirational people. I met with astonishing content creators who have more experience in the field than me. Yet I decided to learn instead of looking for the award itself. I decided to evolve myself further in the content creation. And for this reason, I decided to launch an initiative that showcases, let's say, the achievements of Lebanese youth and how they are creating impact, whether in our country or abroad. Because unfortunately, every time we consume and absorb negative political news, and every time the channels on TVs focus on what's happening around the world instead of giving larger space to every single person who worked tirelessly on achieving something that he or she is proud of. So after being part of this competition, and after I managed to, let's say, introduce everybody to the inspirational experiences of these youth, I got the opportunity to become among the best 4 content creators in Lebanon at this prestigious competitions with a honorary mention for being a team player, and for being enthusiastic, and for being an empowering person. And thanks to this spirit, I became a part of the European Union Gil Connect that provides the opportunity to every youth who is part of this network to share opportunities, organize events that aim to empower the skills of everyone who is aspiring to become the best version of themselves. And because I'm known for my passion about sports, and I'm a sports commentator and a volunteer in the sports industry, alongside the fact that I have been passionate about sports since I was 7 years old, I was also accepted at the Street Sports Incubator Program for the project that I will talk to you about immediately, with one aim in my mind. My aim was to promote peace and development through sports, encourage intercultural dialogue, develop the skills of youth through sports, and break the stigma and the barriers between normal people as well as the people with special needs. And I actually hate using the word disabilities, because everybody is able to achieve whatever he or she wants, regardless the physical abilities and the capabilities. Because we are humans, we have the tendency to think outside the box and inspire everyone with our successes. And thankfully, I had my teammate, who is also a para-athlete, who achieved many national achievements and accomplishments in hand cycling, not to forget that he's also a handball player. We both worked together alongside our other teammates in the project on inspiring everyone with the importance of reducing inequalities between people with special needs, and most importantly, the women in sports, because the widespread corruption in sports industry in Lebanon is let's say, I don't even have the words to describe the widespread corruption in sports industry. Because of this corruption itself, Lebanon got banned for a specific period from some international federations because of the intervention of political parties, as well as the widespread corruption in the sports field. And that's why I'm gonna talk about something that, let's say, was a turning point, and that was the reason, or even one of the reasons why I stepped forward, and I'm joining you here to inspire you with my achievement. The last time that I was a commentator in the sports sector was in April 2020. Fortunately, I had a contact with one of the legends in the basketball, the Lebanese basketball, who is also the president and the founder of a sports organization that animates 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. And this person in specific decided to contact me for this opportunity. And regardless how much return I would receive from this opportunity, I said yes, because I wanted to have my voice heard to everyone in order to address them this message. Nothing is impossible. It starts by you, it continues with you, and it ends with you. And that's what I exactly wanted to address after 887 days of stopping sports commentary. Imagine, after 887 days, I took this decision to come back again as a sports commentator. And even prior to the trip here, on the last Sunday, I got the opportunity to commentate on one of the tournaments that took place in my region in Zahle. Now I'm gonna talk about my project, Shooting Stars Academy. And I'm gonna insist on our slogan, which is shoot like a star, regardless the difficulties, the struggles, and the challenges that we might face. I'm gonna introduce to you my friend Ayman, who is a para-athlete. He started practicing sports at the age of 10 years old. Unfortunately for him, he was dreaming of becoming a famous athlete representing his country at many international and regional sports tournaments. For one reason, he lacked the support from his school on all levels, especially in terms of good infrastructure in the sports industry, knowing the fact that we have many sports venues and stadiums in Lebanon that are underdeveloped and that are no longer valid for anyone to practice sports. Beside this, this lack of support is incarnated by the widespread corruption in the sports sector, because always political parties focus on intervening in the elections of the new sports federations alongside the National Olympic Committee. Imagine that. The National Olympic Committee that is supposed to promote the values of tolerance, peace and development, sustainable development, and equity between all types of athletes, is built or elected based on political purposes, not on sports objectives, in order to empower as many athletes as possible. And not only this, because of the widespread corruption in the sports industry and because of the lack of support, Ayman is among the youth who at this stage of his life lacked the enough awareness about the wide careers provided by the sports industry itself. And for this reason, we came up with Shooting Stars Academy, whose mission is to boost the well-being of sports enthusiasts in Lebanon alongside the people with special needs on physical, mental, and professional levels in order to become pro athletes and inspirational experts and specialists in the sports industry. How we do this? We focus on organizing interactive sports tournaments and competitions in order to headhunt the top talents in all the sports without exception. Not to forget the awareness programs and the boot camps that we organize in order to introduce all the youth to all the sports that are practiced in Lebanon, especially the ones that are the least popular than, for example, the football and basketball, with a high and special focus on the cause of people with special needs, because we believe that sports in everyone, and because sports is for everyone, we always focus on promoting this culture of voluntarism in the sports industry in order to expose youth to the real world of sports. We target actually the Lebanese youth who are aged between 14 and 21 years old from both genders, especially those with special needs, in order to reduce inequalities and promote the values of tolerating each other. And we provide them with a variety of interactive educational services through our boot camps and workshops. And we focus on teaching them the values that we see in sports. Among these values, we have the inclusion, we have the tolerance, we have the communication, the teamwork, and most importantly, the leadership, and many other values that build the character and the personality of each one of us, especially the youth who are passionate about sports. And what makes our project distinguished and unique is that we provide this experience within sports courts and venues instead of this formal approach of developing the skills of youth like we see in the outdated curriculum system and let's say the approach that are used somehow by organizations when organizing training sessions. We actually, we always, our revenue streams focus on developing partnerships with sponsors to help us achieve our goals. And we give the opportunity for everyone to become members with us in order to spread the word around the Lebanese territory. Not to forget that we always focus on receiving fees. These fees, we take them because we want to promote the values of commitment. We want people who are exactly and highly committed, because unfortunately, there are so many people who decide to cancel their attendance in the last minute without giving a valid or a serious reason behind that most of the time. And this impacts the relations, especially the professional ones, in a negative way. That's why in our model we focus on commitment and the dedication to attend with us all the events without any exception. And in order to achieve our mission and vision, we always focus on outreaching youth at schools and universities, as well as the sports tournaments that we animate and organize, not to forget the national sports federations, whom we aim to develop partnerships and collaborations on continuous basis in order to have a pool of talents and inspirational athletes who would become one day inspirational champions, raising the Lebanese flag up high. And definitely, we work on asking the support of famous athletes in order to inspire youth as much as we can. Like I said, that our project won the Youth Taqa Wellbeing Championship, and our project, fortunately, was selected among the top 3 projects by the jury members. And not only this, we developed a partnership with Odyssey Sports Association in order to promote volunteerism in sports industry. And we co-organized in collaboration with Youth Against Corruption the first national anti-corruption sports event that aimed to teach or even promote the awareness about the interrelation existing between the Sustainable Development Goals, sports, and corruption. And this is the vibrant team behind our project. We are a team of inspirational champions who achieved many milestones in international and regional tournaments, as well as individuals who have strong experience in organizing sports tournaments and even volunteering in sports events in order to work together on achieving our vision to become the pioneers of having a generation of inspirational champions from Lebanon in the sports industry. The key lessons that I have learned throughout the past few years and that made me join this prestigious event: you need everyone to empower without ego. Why? Because when someone is empowered, this someone at some point forgets the support that he received from the others and focuses instead on showing off and being superior to the others, saying, hey, you, I am now the best and I have achieved this milestone. What about you? What are you doing? Let's say, how would we feel? How would we feel if I were the someone who was approached this way by this person who achieved this milestone? I would get definitely infuriated. This would be a sign of ego, superiority, and show-off, which is something that, unfortunately, we are, as, how can I say it? As many youth as possible are trying to spread kindness, solidarity, collaborations, but there are some people around who always try to show off that they have achieved things that we have never achieved and try to show that they are the best without empowering the others. And this is a bad trait of leadership. The second lesson that I have learned is to always spread energy, empathize with the others, and tailor this energy to the audience that I'm working with. For example, if someone is feeling bad, if someone is feeling exhausted, anxious, I need to use the adequate type of energy in order to provide him with the adequate help and support and help him achieve the state of mind that he is looking for. Otherwise, if I would, for example, focus on spreading positive energy all the time without paying attention, without being mindful at some point of my environment, then I would be making mistakes, and I would never ever work on empathizing in a very effective way. And last but not least, everyone in this room is invited to enable everybody without exceptions. Let's work together on sharing opportunities with each other, because this is a first kind of solidarity that we can achieve. And not only this, the more we enable people in the process, the more we increase the chance of empowering as many people as we can. And I wrap up this presentation with this circle of traits, which are the 720 degree of sustainable success. And I'm going to tell you why. I was inspired by the circle of emotions that everyone passes by, and I decided to focus on these specific values that represent me, reflect my points of view. In order to be inspirational, in order to be successful, in order to be empowering, in order to become an inspirational change maker, in order to be distinguished, first of all, you have to be knowledgeable. I decided to increase my knowledge in all the fields that I'm interested in order to reach out a point where I would become able to spread this knowledge to the highest number of people and empower them in the process of learning something new. Not only this, I decided to focus as well on the devotion, the commitment, and the dedication to everyone. Sometimes in life, we don't receive in return what we achieve and what we do for the others, but this does not shift us from being committed and inspiring individuals who are focusing on standing by everyone without any discrimination. Last but not least, I would highly encourage you guys to adapt to all the changes, to stay resilient. I reached out a point where the word resilient is no longer usable or feasible. So I would focus on being flexible and adaptable to all the changes that might occur. Talking about the example that I have started my presentation with, that we have to adapt to all the changes. This pandemic, yes, was a crisis for me for a 1 month only, but I decided instead to adapt to this change and show the world how I am virtually able to achieve and grow exponentially in comparison to the previous years in which I was unemployed, unable to persevere, unable to work harder on myself to become inspirational as I am today. And talking about perseverance, it is the key to success. Why? Because after my graduation with a master's degree in economic policy, I was unemployed for almost 3 years. I managed to land my first job opportunity after 3 years, after sending hundreds of CVs to national and international companies and organizations. And I reached out a point where I lashed out. I was so anxious, so frustrated. I was even, let's say, talking about my struggles to my family members, nagging all the time, but I never stopped. I never gave up. I fought. I was a fighter in a battle for 1 day, and because I was this fighter, this ultimate warrior, I managed to land this opportunity for the first time and complete 5 years of experience in various fields, despite everything. In the end, we cannot achieve all these if we don't have this high level of determination. I always say to myself, tell myself, you have to show determination. You have to be determined to get out of your sadness, moments of tears. And talking about that, in the past few months, I can't deny the fact that I have been facing many struggles. Among these struggles, I had one of my best friends who, unfortunately, she decided to start a new career abroad in everything related to climate change. And there's also my best friend who also left me after the end of my bachelor degree and decided to sustain himself abroad on both professional and personal levels after years of bonding with each other at university. But I took this as an opportunity to work on myself, to get out of my comfort zone, to get myself out from the hole that I fell in order to refocus on myself, reshift my mind into the fact that I have to focus on myself further and further. And thanks to this decision, I became a panelist in everything related to good governance and public policy for 3 consecutive years at the administration or the Association of Middle East for Public Policy and Administration. In the end, we cannot achieve all these if we don't have the attitude. The attitude is the key to success, actually. And I was so touched by this person who decided to calculate the total of the word attitude depending on the position of each letter in the alphabetical order, saying that attitude equals 100. And if we don't have a 100% attitude, or even a 110% attitude, we would never, ever achieve all what we want. By that, I would like to thank you everyone for being attentive and for grabbing your own attention to listen to my experience. And I hope that I would inspire you with more and more achievements. After the end of the session, feel free to reach me out using my own QR code that I will be providing to you. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, I'm open as well.